In the name of love, don't sell on Etsy. We have all been seeing the videos that are saying to stop selling on Etsy or Etsy is dead, and though I don't believe that's actually true, I think you could still sell on Etsy. Do I believe that it is the way to build a sustainable and scalable business? No, I do not. There are some challenges with selling on Etsy that, in my opinion, create a roadblock if you're trying to build a business, like a full-on quit your other job, have it forever, retire yourself and your spouse potentially type business. So we're gonna run through those challenges that you might experience on Etsy, and I'm also going to give you another path that you can take that could be a better option for growing an online digital product business. Before diving into the challenges I think you might experience selling on Etsy, I want to say that Etsy is for some people. If you are looking to just create a side hustle, or if you're so new to this, you just want to dabble in it and you want to give it a shot, you just want to learn a little bit about SEO, you want it just to be a really easy process, you can start trying to sell on Etsy, and it is possible to make a, more part-time income, or even just a few $100 extra a month. That is totally possible. I have actually done it, so I have proof that that is possible. However, if you are ready to take this seriously and you're trying to create an actual business that's gonna be sustainable and continue bringing in more and more income each month, then I feel like there's another option, which I'm gonna share with you. I just wanna clear the air. I'm not trying to crap talk Etsy or anything or discourage you from giving it a try. I am just saying that there might be a better option out there, and I wanna make sure I'm sharing all of the options. So let's get the obvious first challenge out of the way, and that is the Etsy fees. So obviously with a lot of platforms, especially one like Etsy, who is providing you a platform and an audience to sell to, there are gonna be fees involved. Really, no matter where you sell, there will be some sort of fee, whether that's a subscription service you pay on a monthly basis, like for a website, for example, or if you have to use a platform like Stripe or PayPal, those companies also can take a percentage. No matter where you sell, there will be fees, but the fees over at Etsy do add up, especially considering that you're getting charged every single product, and you're also getting charged every time you list a product, and then you also get charged every 4 months for that same product. It's a lot and it adds up. And then if you want to do any kind of advertisement, you have to do the Etsy ads, and then there's another expense as well. So there's just a lot of fees associated with having an Etsy store. But again, it's a trade. They're giving you a borrowed audience and you're having to pay them for it. Another challenge is limited control. You are limited to what you can sell and how you can sell it on their platform. It is their platform, not yours. So of course there's gonna be some rules and regulations that prevent you from doing anything and everything that you want. And so that is just something to keep in mind as well. If you plan to sell on Etsy, I urge you to read through every one of their terms and conditions, their rules, and the regulations to make sure that you are abiding by those, because if you don't, you could get your shop shut down and all the work that you just put into this shop have now disappeared. Kind of going on that same note, there's also a lack of customer data. So yet again, these are Etsy's customers, not your customers. So you cannot obtain their email address, which makes it very hard to build an email list, which is so important when having any type of business, especially an online business. And with using Etsy, you're not really supposed to be sending these customers away from the Etsy platform. That is something that they beyond discourage. It's not allowed. So again, if you're wanting this to be your business, something big and large that you're creating, you want your customers to be yours, not Etsy's. So those are some other limitations that you might run into by having an Etsy shop versus selling yourself. Also, if you keep hearing some banging in the background, my husband and my father are actually down in the basement. We're finishing our basement, and there's a racket happening right now. Like that, if you heard that. Another problem with Etsy is the competition. Of course, there are so many other people selling on Etsy and probably selling a similar product, if not the exact same product that you are trying to sell. And so it makes it really challenging to stand out, because at the end of the day, if somebody's going on Etsy and they search for what they want in the search bar, they're probably not gonna make it past the first page or two, because most likely they're gonna find what they were looking for right there. So why would they scroll to page like 25. And if that's where your product is living, unfortunately, you're probably not gonna get a sale. You're probably not gonna even get an impression or a view. So even though you can find ways to navigate SEO and to get on the top of a search result, it is very difficult when there are millions of other people doing the exact same thing. Something else that can cause a lot of problems selling on Etsy is the changes to their platform. So you might spend hours learning everything there is to know about Etsy, reading through their terms and conditions, and then they make a lot of changes, and then you have to refamiliarize yourself with all of it. And also there might be changes to the way you do things on Etsy or the way you look at the back end of Etsy, and it just gets a lot when there's already so many other things in your business you're trying to worry about, and then not knowing if what you're doing is okay or not okay. It becomes overwhelming. And again, just like anything, just like the fees, no matter where you go, you're gonna have to deal with that, right? If you're using a website of some sort to host your digital products, you're gonna have to worry about that website making changes and updates. But Etsy is just kind of known for being fairly strict with what you're able to sell and how you're able to sell it and what you're able to do with your customers and so on and so forth. I'm sure there are some boundaries with any platform, but for the most part, you can sell what you want and they're your customers, so you can collect their emails and do all the things. So it's just something to keep in mind if you are trying to choose between selling on Etsy or selling for yourself. Okay, so those are the main challenges and issues I see selling on Etsy. And I think the biggest thing is it's so hard to sell on Etsy. It's easy to create a digital product and put it up on Etsy. That part is easy peasy, and I feel like anybody could learn to do that. But actually selling your product on Etsy is so challenging. But there's another option that is also challenging, but I think in the long term is going to grow bigger and quicker. And I feel like if you're going to put time and energy into something, this is the route you should take instead of the Etsy route. So I know so many people are gonna wanna click off this video when I say social media, but building your own audience is 1,000,000,000% the way to go if you're wanting to build a real sustainable and scalable business. By building your own audience, you're no longer having to borrow somebody else's audience and really be just selling your product for them. Instead, you can be selling it for yourself, and the best way to do that, the best way to build an audience is going to be social media. I personally am big on YouTube, obviously. I love YouTube. I think it's great. I think it's especially wonderful. I think video content in general is wonderful. And I personally really like watching YouTube, so I think that's why maybe my lord. My top two platforms, the two platforms I recommend the most are gonna be YouTube and Instagram. TikTok is fine, I just don't like it. It's just not my vibe over there. Twitter, not really my thing, and now there's Threads, which is pretty much Twitter, but for Instagram. So if you're into Twitter, you could really just do like Instagram and Threads, but I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be bothering much on doing Threads, but in general, I feel like if you want to choose like two platforms, Instagram and YouTube are definitely the ones to choose. You can also start with one or the other if you want, and there's many strategies that you can use for either platform. So how this is gonna work is you're gonna be actually, instead of targeting a person, for example, like a mom, you're gonna be targeting a problem. So you're gonna be targeting people who have a specific problem. You will decide what that problem is based on your skill set, based on what you feel like you can create and what you're passionate about. So maybe you are certified in like helping babies sleep. That's like a huge struggle for new moms, is the whole like transitioning into them sleeping on their own. There's tons of different methods. Maybe you're certified and you have a method that works really well, and that is your skill set. That is the problem that you want to help people solve. So instead of targeting, moms, like new moms or something like that, you're going to be targeting people who have babies that need to go to sleep and they don't know how. So that is the problem that needs to be solved. And so you're gonna be creating content that is drawing in that type of person. And then the digital product that you create is going to solve that problem. So maybe it's an ebook teaching this system, or maybe a video course that's teaching this system, or a webinar, or whatever it might be, something that is educating them on how to properly put their babies to sleep. So you're targeting a person that has this problem, and then you're offering the solution to that problem. So you need to confirm, hey, this is a problem you probably have, create content based on that, and then you're gonna be pitching them essentially the solution to that problem in a digital product. So that is like the bare bones basic of how the process works. If you build a social media audience, you're creating social media content catering to a problem, and then you're creating a digital product that solves the problem. And that's a very simple way of looking at it, I know. However, there are a lot of like strategies to create this system, this like social funnel. Also, I actually just launched a new product called the Digital Product Starter Kit, and this is gonna be a game changer for starting and growing a digital product business. In this kit, you'll learn everything you need to know about product research, essential tools, and building a community of loyal customers. Plus, you'll get access to a Notion template to help you stay organized and on track, 50 digital product mock-ups, and over 40 minutes of video tutorials and tips. I might as well call this a course, but at a workbook price. Whether you're a freelancer looking to diversify your income streams or a content creator hoping to monetize your passion, the Digital Product Starter Kit has everything you need to get started. The link is in the description. And I just truly believe this is the strongest method if you are really trying to quit the 9-to-5 and want to build a business. I think this is the way to do it. Okay, interweb besties, before you go, check out this video here. So sorry for all the loud noise in the background in this video. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Bye.